1 tower down and 7 to go. Time for us to brave the waters and tackle the Cerulean Gym Tower headed by Misty. Because of the massive amounts of water Pokemon you will fight, I am going to use my red version team once again. Jolteon, Starmie, and Exeggutor should prove to be invaluable for taking on these trainers. But you'll want to be careful because you'll also fight some ground and fighting Pokemon as well. And in that case, Exeggutor will prove to be even more of an asset. So without further ado, let's proceed. Starting things off, we have a fight against Fisher. And as you can see, he has quite a few water Pokemon, but he's also got a Diglett to deal with any electric types you might send after him. Even so, I'm going to lead off with Jolteon. I'm confident that it can outspeed everything in his team, and I'll also bring Exeggutor as backup. But just in case that Eevee shows up, I'm going to bring Tauros as well.
Here's the first opponent of this gym series. A decisive victory is expected.
I keep forgetting how epic this remix of the Kanto Trainer Battle theme is. Although the one in Heart Gold and Soul Silver is very good too. In any case, he's leading off with his Eevee. Normal type with the moves Sand Attack, Double Team, Body Slam, and Swift. Things can get irritating if you allow it to set up. It'll decrease your accuracy and buff its evasion so your attacks will hit less often. But even with that being said, it's still an Eevee. Its stats aren't that great. And it's still an unevolved Pokemon. In fact, right now, it's taking on its evolved form. Or one of them, I should say. Let's see if a Thunderbolt can finish it off.
What's that? A savage hit!
Really? It didn't KO Eevee. I am stunned! This is the most resilient Eevee I have ever seen. I don't know what you did to raise him, but man, you sure raised him well and fed him a lot of vitamins. And of course now I get a useless critical hit.
Is it down and out?
Ah well, at least it's KO'd.
What will the next Pokemon be?
If it's anything other than Diglett, I can probably KO it. And it's gonna be Seeking. Seeking is a water type with the moves Waterfall, Horn Drill, Toxic, and Double Edge. Fun fact, in Generation 1, Goldeen and Seeking are the only Pokemon that can learn Waterfall. This was prior to it becoming a TM, or an HM I should say. But yeah, it has the distinction of being the very first Pokemon attack that started out as a regular move and became an HM move later. Kind of an interesting little bit of trivia there. This would later be the case with Rock Smash, which started out as a normal move, became an HM, and then was switched back to a regular move. Last Pokemon of Mr. Fisher, Poliwrath, water type, with the moves Hypnosis, Amnesia, Psychic, and Surf. Those are some pretty strong moves, particularly Amnesia. If it gets too many of those off, that Surf and Psychic will spell trouble. Okay, 1 battle down, and 3 more to go. We're off to a really strong start, so let's hope we can keep up the rhythm. Battle number 2 against Junior Female, and her team is a little bit more diverse than Fisher's was. And because that's the case, I'm going to lead off with Exeggutor. I will also bring Rhydon in case that Electrode comes out. Aside from that, I think it would be best to use Tauros as well. Rhydon can deal with Pidgeotto and Electrode. Exeggutor can deal with Seadra and Dugtrio, and Tauros can hopefully deal with Kadabra and Clefairy. That Clefairy might be a little bit difficult, but let's see how things go.
How will the gym's second opponent conduct battle? We'll need a strong effort to win.
Well, she's not starting off with a very strong effort because she's leading off with her Seadra. Seadra is at level 50. It is a water type with the moves Smoke Screen, Leer, Bubble Beam, and Toxic. I decided to put it to sleep because there is a chance that it might get off too many smoke screens. And if that happens, then I could be in trouble.
They're both being cautious.
So now we're gonna keep hitting it with Mega Drains. Thankfully, Seadra doesn't know any ice attacks.
Fast asleep.
And that makes my job a little bit easier. And a critical hit, not bad at all. That was a lot of HP there. I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. Okay, it did wake up, but I think another Mega Drain should be able to KO it.
Wow, Mega Drain!
And that is it!
Oh!
That's her only water Pokemon, by the way. So there's further proof that you need something other than Grass and Electric types. Whoa, Clefairy! Level 50 or level 100. It doesn't really matter. It depends on what your Pokemon's levels are. I've already gone over that before. In any case, it is a normal type with the moves Flash, Body Slam, Ice Beam, and Psychic. That Ice Beam could spell trouble for Exeggutor. So I am going to switch over to Tauros and see if I can deal with it. My only hope is that Clefairy doesn't freeze me with Ice Beam, or it could use Flash, which is really odd. I don't know why it decided to use Flash. One thing I should mention is that this particular trainer loves to decrease your accuracy. So if that happens too much, you need to switch out. That Body Slam actually did a fair amount of damage. Now it's going to go for the Psychic. And that didn't do very much to me, which is good. It did reduce my special, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's see if Earthquake deals any more damage. Tauros is just a behemoth. Oh, how did you miss? Come on!
What's this?
Your Earthquake is hardly ever missed, and you decide to miss now. Sloppy Tauros. Very, very sloppy. Alright, let's try that again, shall we?
What'll it do?
There, that's more like it. Would have been better if you KO'd it, but it's still an improvement regardless.
What now?
Okay, another Psychic. I can't believe a freaking Clefairy has brought Tauros down to 74 HP. That's rather embarrassing. I'm sorry. Well, Body Slam will KO Clefairy regardless, which is good.
Is it down and out?
Now, no matter what her final Pokemon is, I'm fairly certain that I can deal with it. And it is going to be Kadabra. Kadabra is a Psychic type with the moves Kinesis, Psybeam, Dig, and Disable. Honestly, not a very good Kadabra setup. So it's one of her easier Pokemon. Don't let its appearance frighten you. How did you miss with your Hyper Beam? My accuracy didn't even get lowered. Okay, well that's not quite true. It did, Flash did lower it. But that is just humiliating. How could Hyper Beam miss? And now I'm gonna get KO'd as a result. Ah, great. Okay, I might be frustrated, but even I have to admit the animation for Psybeam is freaking awesome. Alright, with Tauros KO'd, I have no choice but to go for Exeggutor. This is definitely going to be a war of
The
attrition.
remaining Pokemon.
I know this is not going to deal very much damage, but I want to see how much Psychic does. Yeah, it's going to use Kinesis. Oh, never mind, it won't.
What'll it do?
Alright, Psychic is, well, that was pathetic. But then again, I'm using Psychic against a Psychic type. So, I think I'm gonna commit Kamikaze and use Explosion. I just have to hope and pray that it hits. And my accuracy did fall. Exeggutor, don't miss. I'm begging you. Yes! No chance Kadabra would have survived that. Explosion is the most powerful attack in the game, and it cuts the opponent's defense in half. I think that's actually the first time I've ever used Explosion in this LP. But, you know, I put it there as a last resort, in case the consequences are dire. But thankfully, I still had my third Pokemon, and that's what really matters. Alright, one more trainer stands between us and Misty. And we are fighting Swimmer, who has a lot of water Pokemon, but he also has a fighting and a normal type. And because that's the case, once again, Exeggutor is going to be very nice to have in this battle. But even with that being said, I'm going to lead off with Jolteon once more, and I'm going to bring Exeggutor as backup. And I'll also use Alakazam, because he does have a Tentacruel, and that is also a poison type, as well as the fighting type Poliwrath, both of which are vulnerable to Psychic Pokemon.
Here's the third trainer battle with only the gym leader left after this. What kind of battle can we expect?
Well, we might start off with a rough one because he's leading off with his Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a normal type with the moves Seismic Toss, Body Slam, Fire Blast, and Psychic. Quite the type coverage this thing has, and it's also very bulky. Not nearly as bulky as Clefairy, but it can still prove formidable. Pretty much everything Wigglytuff can do, Clefairy can do better. Because the two are very similar. They both have large amounts of HP, they're both normal types, they both have great diversity in the moves they can learn, but Clefairy's stats are just flat out better. But as I said earlier, you don't want to underestimate Wigglytuff. Okay, and Jolteon is running low on HP. That Body Slam is just taking a toll on me. And you would think using Body Slam on Jolteon would hurt a lot more because of all those spikes, but no. Oh, thank you for being fully paralyzed, Wigglytuff. Now I can KO you with Thunderbolt. I probably should have stuck with Thunderbolt to begin with. Well, what can you do? And down it goes. That's good because Wigglytuff is easily his toughest Pokemon. That's why it's tough, Wigglytuff. I'm not funny. Horsey, you're gonna have to do a little bit better than that, buddy. Horsey is a water type with the moves Surf, Toxic, Ice Beam, and Takedown. One super effective stabbed electric attack and this thing's going down. I rest my case. So the question is, what's his final Pokemon? If it's water type, I can keep Jolteon out there. If it's Primeape, I'll have to switch. Oh, it's gonna be Wartortle. Wartortle is a water type with the moves Bite, Surf, Mega Kick, and Dig. Not a very dangerous move set, so it shouldn't give you too much trouble. It does have pretty good defense, but I'm fairly certain that Jolteon can KO it. And indeed it does! Most excellent! And that is all 3 gym trainers cleared. Now, if you know your Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow well, you'll know that in the Cerulean Gym, Misty's trainers were a junior trainer female and a swimmer. Kind of a nice little reference there. Okay, I'm confusing myself. Let's move on to Misty. Misty's upped her game a little bit. Her team is structured very similarly to her gym trainers in the fact that she has 4 water Pokemon and 2 other Pokemon to compensate for their weaknesses. Once again, Jolteon is going to be leading off for us. But just in case Dugtrio comes out, I'm going to send an Exeggutor. Jolteon will also help in dealing with Misty's Exeggutor should it come out. And just in case things get a little dodgy, I'm going to send in my Starmie. Wait, what? Hang on. Jolteon, Exeggutor, Starmie.
This is it! The battle against Misty, the Cerulean Gym Leader and the Maiden of Water Pokémon. Let's see what the challenger has in store for her.
And the Maiden of the Seas opening up with her Dugong. Dugong is a water ice type with the moves Aurora Beam, Rest, Takedown, and Surf. It's got 2 stabbed attacks, and just in case its HP gets low, it'll use Rest to restore it in exchange for going to sleep for 2 turns. But when you're dealing with a Pokemon like Jolteon, that's not going to be an issue. Next Pokemon, Blastoise. How interesting. I expected her to send out Dugtrio or Exeggutor. Oh well. Don't complain about your situation if it turns out to be lucky. Blastoise is a water type with the moves Hydro Pump, Bite, Dig, and Seismic Toss. Watch out for Hydro Pump. That packs a punch and he got paralyzed! I don't even care that he decided to use Dig. I'm so happy! But I think I'm just gonna switch out to Starmie just in case. Oh, for once Thunderbolt got the paralysis.
What now?
Wow, that hardly did anything. Good job, Starmie. So let's see if you can hit him back with a Thunderbolt of your own. Misty honestly isn't that tricky if you can cover her weaknesses, but you still don't want to underestimate her because she is packing some strong attacks. Dugtrio has Earthquake, Exeggutor has Psychic, and Blastoise has Hydro Pump. And we've got a complete and total mirror match here because she sent out her own Starmie. Water Psychic type with the moves Recover, Psychic, Hydro Pump, and Thunder Wave. So it's a lot more aggressive than mine is. But it still has Thunder Wave, that's going to be annoying, as well as Recover. So while you're fully paralyzed, it's just going to keep healing the damage you inflict. So this is definitely her most powerful Pokemon, I would say. And it makes sense seeing how it's also her signature Pokemon as well. And I think its HP is low enough that I can carry it with Thunderbolt, and with a critical hit, that is a guarantee now. Awesome! We have beaten Misty. So this tower wasn't really much of an issue. It can definitely be an issue if you're unprepared, but yeah, I had a pretty easy run through. And with that, the Cerulean Gym Tower is cleared. Upon defeating Misty, we received the key from her and opened Surge's Tower. So next time on Let's Play Pokemon Stadium, we are going to tackle the Vermilion Gym Tower headed by Lieutenant Surge.